Getting ready for your Peer Support Core Competencies exam? Feeling like Module 6 is a little fuzzy? Well, don't worry. We are about to break down the most important concepts so you can walk into that test feeling totally prepared.
And just so you know, all the key points we're about to cover are pulled straight from the official Peer Support Core Competencies participant workbook. So this isn't just a guess, this is the essential stuff you absolutely need to know.
So here's our game plan. We're going to start with the core philosophy. Then we'll break it down into two major shifts in thinking. After that, we'll look at a really critical responsibility that connects back to that philosophy. And finally, we'll lock in the single biggest takeaway for your exam.
All right, let's dive right into the foundation. Honestly, if you can really grasp this one concept, you've basically mastered the heart of peer support relationships. It's that important.
This quote from Sherry Mead, "This is everything for Module 6. The huge shift here is moving from helping to learning, and from focusing on the individual to focusing on the relationship. Getting that distinction is so crucial, not just for the test, but for your entire practice."
That's a pretty big idea, right? So to make it way easier to remember when you're sitting in that exam, we're going to break it down into two simple, memorable parts. So here it is, the first half of that core philosophy. And this is a really fundamental shift in your entire mindset.
Now, what's so cool about this slide is you can see the contrast so clearly. A helping focus creates this kind of power imbalance. There's an expert and there's a person who needs fixing. But peer support just flips that script. It's all about a learning focus. It's about mutuality. It's a shared journey where both people are curious and both people grow. So the biggest thing to remember is this: we are not fixers. And now for that second key shift. This is all about moving our attention away from seeing a person as a set of problems to be solved and putting it on the relationship itself as the place where change can happen. This just illustrates the difference perfectly. If you only focus on the individual, it can start to feel like you're just diagnosing a list of issues. But when you focus on the relationship, that connection itself becomes the tool. It's the actual space where hope and possibility are created together. The relationship isn't just a part of the work. In a lot of ways, it is the work.
Okay, so we've got the core philosophy down. But, part of having a healthy, mutual relationship is knowing where the boundaries are, especially when the law gets involved.
So even inside this mutual, learning-focused relationship, you have some really critical duties. And you can bet this is a key area for your exam, where your legal obligations and your peer support role intersect and define the limits. Okay, pay close attention here. This is a big one. According to the workbook, you have a specific legal duty that is absolutely non-negotiable. If you become aware of abuse and the person lives in a retirement home or a long-term care home in Ontario, you must report it. This isn't a choice. It's a high-stakes scenario where your responsibility is spelled out very clearly by the law.
So, let's bring it all together. If you're going to remember just one thing from Module 6 when you're writing that exam, make it this.
This is the whole thing in a nutshell. Peer support isn't about one person fixing another. It's about two people building a relationship together, creating a space where mutual learning, hope, and new possibilities can actually grow. That is the real heart of Sherry Mead's philosophy.
So now you've got the knowledge you need for the exam. The final step is to think about how you're actually going to use it.
So I'll leave you with this to think about. And honestly, wrestling with this won't just help you on the exam, it will make you a much more effective peer supporter. In your own practice, how will you consciously shift from being a helper to being a learner? Really give that some thought. Good luck with your studies.